Of course, the other one is over there. Does he do all the work?
He does most of the work. He
Yes,
really
that's
does.
right. Well, he's the one. He's making the pot
And
over there.
He's working right now.
He's working right now. But, you know, interesting enough, the gallery was the first bit of the chapel to open after the pandemic. And how's it been going?
It's been going really well. We did a first show called Art from the Heart, and it was open to any artist in the Valley. The idea was to get money to the artists, and then we also gave not a large donation, but what we could to Aspen Family Connections.
And you've set up the gallery down there with all the sort of, you know, crisscrosses
We
and
did.
boxes. I mean, it's like a chessboard down there. You have to be in your box, don't you?
Well, there are little arrows and
The
there are boxes.
arrows, yes.
Yeah, we set it up so people can comfortably look at work without, if there are other people in there, without stepping on people's toes.
Can you win, or is it just for going round? There's no.
Well, we haven't put it into a game yet, but we could try that.
Given tonight, we might
That's
win.
right.
So look, also, what I've noticed is that you had an opening, Dave, a few days ago.
We had
70 people came, but not all at once, did they?
Not all at once, no. And we actually had part of it. We had each of the artists had a piece of work outdoors in the entry underneath by the office, and so people could talk with the artists there, and then they could come in and go down into the gallery and look at the art on the walls down there.
That's incredibly creative. And what's the new show? Tell us about the new show.
The new show is Art for the Pass, and it's in partnership with the Independence Pass Foundation.
And how is that going to develop? I mean, you know, in the future, how are you moving your shows forward?
Well, each show has a partner, and we are now set up with our shows actually through 2021. All the artists haven't been chosen, but the shows themselves are set into place.
Yeah.
The next show after this one is called Art, and it's with Windwalkers. And then at Christmas we have our Small Wonder show, and that will be with Holiday Baskets.
And how's the gallery helping people in the valley?
We have sponsorships that come in, and the sponsorships, 20% of the sponsorships help go to the partnering organization, and the other helps us put the show on. We then get money to the artists, and 10% of all the sales go to the sponsoring organization, so that we're able to give out money. We've given out in the last about 20, no, not even that long, a little over a year and a half now, $10,000 to nonprofit organizations and $4,000 to the six high school art departments in the Valley.
I mean, the gallery is a bit like its own pay-it-forward little thing itself.
It
because
is.
When you buy a piece of work from the gallery, it goes to the artist, the money. It goes to the chapel, but it also goes to the organization.
That's correct.
That we're doing it. So everybody's sort of gaining.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
And look, if you had the funds, if you had the resources, and shameless plug to plug money for the gallery here, if you had the resources, what sort of things would you like to be doing in the future?
well, we developed a website. We'd like to do more with the website. We'd like to develop some online sales, if that's possible, to help sell for the artists and for the partnering organizations and the gallery itself.
Yeah.
We could have some more workshops. We could even bring in some people to talk with artists and do some classes on how you develop finding a gallery and doing all those kinds of things.
I mean, it is an amazing thing that we have a gallery that does put on local work by local artists. It's it's a unique thing of our gallery, isn't it?
For 35 years, we've been selling artwork of local artists. The show that's up right now is show number 220.
Well, look, Tom, I just take my hat off to all the work that you've done over the years in doing that, and just encourage people to donate that. I can see over there we have another check that seems to be arriving. Peggy, fantastic. Your outfits are absolutely brilliant. And this check is for $3,500. And these are some of the people that have just sponsored parts of the show, haven't they? And over the last period of time, they've phoned in, they've given in this $3,500. Now, that $3,500 added on to the $2,170 actually puts us over the next chakra, because it means that we have actually now, there we are, we've raised $5,000, $5,670. Now, we're at the sacral chakra, which relates to sexual energy. So if we want to move it on quickly from there, you might want to just send some money in. But let's have a look at what the art is doing at the moment. How are we doing with the art? Is your painting going well? Amy, come and show us your painting. Look at that. That's absolutely brilliant. What a fantastic painting. And you can bid for that. You can have that painting. And is that pot changing shape there? I see. It looks like it to myself. I mean, it does look like it's changing shape a lot. So if you want the pot as well, do feel free to go in and have that pot if you'd like to do that. So now our next artist is to sing now. And it's another one of our favorites. It's Dan Sheridan. And Dan, now what are you going to be singing for us today?
I would like to sing Here Comes the Sun.
Fantastic. Here Comes the Sun. Dan.
So little darling, it's been a long and lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years, it's been years. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. I said that it's alright. So little darling, I see the smiles return on faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. And here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. So little darling, I see the ice is slowly melting. And little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and it's alright.
Dan Sheridan, thank you so much, Dan. That's absolutely beautiful. So appreciate that. And look, guys, if you're watching on Zoom, if you click on you can click on the one here that actually has the live stream on, and you can pin that video to your television or whatever you're watching on, and it'll make it big if you wanted to do that. So do feel free to do that. Dan Sheridan, do look at the artists and bid on that. Talk about music. I've got Susan with me at the moment. Susan, music's been happening throughout the pandemic and here at the chapel. What sort of feedback have you had on that?
I've heard from people that it's a very comforting aspect of the services when they zoom in and watch us. It's been something that is very reflective for them and just makes them feel like there's a beacon of hope at the end of this. Yeah.
And yourself, you put out a little sort of message giving people examples of sort of music they could be listening to.
Newsletter.
How did that come about?
I just decided, music is what reaches so many of us on deep levels, and I decided to at first do my own music selections, and then I put it out into a select group of people, and I had a lot of wonderful responses. And so the remaining 5 newsletters I had were from people in the choir, people from the Aspen Music Festival who gave their ideas of what the most meaningful music was to them during this difficult time.
And didn't the head honcho from the festival?
Yeah, the head honcho did, yes.
What did he say?
Numerous times. He wrote me more than once. He had about 6 different selections that I that I plugged into the newsletter.
Well, thank you for that. I know a lot of people appreciate that. And look, you know, it was such a shame that we missed the Bach Cantata. I know you put on Scott, who we're going to be hearing from later on in the evening, and did your own little sort of Bach bits. But what sort of plans have you got for the future over the next period of time?
Well, up until the end of the year, I mean, obviously this is a year where anything can change on a moment's notice,
Yeah.
but there'll be music every single Sunday. We won't skip a beat there. And on Lessons and Carols, I'm rethinking it, I'm re-envisioning it, and having a smaller ensemble that would be socially distanced. And of course, Christmas, which will be a surprise.
Yeah, it makes it really difficult, doesn't it? Because, you know, with the Bach Cantata, we've got 200 people here. We can't do, you know, the same with the Lessons and Carols. And Christmas, we can't have 1,000 people in the chapel. And even if we put something on, they'd all pour out the hotels and try and get in here as well. So that's going to be quite a challenge,
Well,
isn't
and
it?
also you can't, it's proven that singing is one of the transmitters. So we have to be very careful about singing.
Yes.
And having how many people, my choir can range anywhere from 25 to 45 people.
And we've had links with the Bach, Steve and
Irene watch every Sunday.
and with the Bach Cantata as well. Are you thinking of doing one next year?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be bigger and better. It's going to be big. Because the choir is just itching to sing, and I said, okay, I'm going to throw something at you that you're going to be either better watch what you ask for.
Well, I think the music program's one of, you know, the most fantastic programs that we've got here. So do feel free to make a contribution to that. It really will make a difference, you know, you doing that. You just go to the front page of the website and go to that place. Look, you can see where the programs are, click on the program, and you can just make a contribution to that. And we're going to, looks like, yes, we've got another check coming on. So you've got your music outfit on, great little twirl, there we are. That's fantastic. And this one, actually, this is one of our event sponsors. Linda Sandell has sponsored this $5,000 for this event in honor of her nephew Kevin's wedding. So we're really, really grateful for that from Linda Sandell, that $5,000. That adds it up to the previous total of the 5,670, makes 10,670, which actually takes us beyond the next one. We're actually in the solar plexus chakra, which I'll talk about when I'll just put this on here like this. There we are. There we are. So can you see we're gradually going up? We've gone over $10,000. And you've got to pay attention to Peggy's outfits. They are absolutely fantastic. When you get to the solar plexus chakra, it's about being confident and in control of your life. And so, you know, that's where we are with that. And I'm going to now attempt to speak to one of our Zoom people here, Bruce and Tracy. Bruce and Tracy, can you hear me, Bruce and Tracy?
Yeah.
But we're living in a mountain town, so people should be used to that. That is Bruce. I'd like to introduce Bruce because Bruce is our new chair of our board, Bruce. And I'm just really so delighted to introduce you to everybody as the chair of our board. And your fiancée, Tracy, sitting next to you, which I'm very pleased to introduce Tracy as well. Bruce, as our new board chair, what are your hopes for the chapel?
First, an honor and joy to work with the fabulous group of people we have on the board and the staff, and with this wonderful spiraling upward energy that you're creating, Nicholas. We just have to hang on to it and keep it going because we have insurmountable great opportunities ahead of us.
I've asked Bruce for his hope.
I can't hear.
What are your hopes? What are your hopes for Bruce? Anyway, I'm sure her hopes for Bruce would be absolutely fantastic. Bruce and Tracy, thank you so much. I'm sorry you couldn't actually hear that. We're going to move. Craig, not quite yet, Craig. Sorry. If you'd just like to go back to where you are, that's absolutely fantastic. So, we're going to move on now, and we're going to actually hear, now this is going to be a challenge of technology, because we're going to hear from Ellen Stapenhorst. We're going to hear from her on Zoom, and if it doesn't work, you're going to hear me very quickly after that. So, Ellen, I don't know if you can hear me, Ellen, but I'm not going to risk trying to talk to you. So I'm just going to say, take it away with whatever you're going to sing.
Okay, Nicholas, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I can hear you. Hi, I can hear you. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Yes, you're hearing me? Woohoo. Okay, so, this is one of the things I just really love about the Aspen Chapel is that it's so inclusive. You don't have to be of a certain faith or a certain belief system to be welcome here. And so that's one of the things I love a lot. And so, since this is a fundraiser as well as a fundraiser, I thought and I'm kind of known for my heartfelt stuff. So here's a little bit heartfelt fun. I've got a fundamental problem. I'll admit that I'm confused. If all these fundamentalist folks are right, then everyone will lose. It's a function of the righteous to think the only way is theirs. If you're not with us, you're against us. It's my way or the highway, and that highway leads to you know where. It might be Christians or Muslims, Buddhists or Hindus, pagans, atheists or Jews, vegans or environmentalists, oilmen or capitalists, right, left, folk singers too. If everybody's right, then everybody's wrong, at least from my point of view. And it's a fundamental problem. I'll admit that I'm confused. Well, I don't think that Jesus would have liked what people do, all this hating and this killing in his name. Some imams of Mohammed have twisted his words. I don't think it's the prophet who's to blame. All this black and white, it's blinding in the light. Give me some shades of gray, shades of gray, 'cause it's a fundamental problem. Everybody, it's a funambulist, funereal fugue. If all these fundamentalist folks are right, then everyone is screwed. It's a function of the righteous to think we have the only way. So I'll wish you well, and I'll see you in hell on that crowded judgment day. We won't be lonely on that crowded judgment day.
So much. That's absolutely brilliant. I so appreciate that. Amazing technology. Now look, if you're confused about how to donate money, it's very simple. If you go on to, that's enough, thank you very much. If you go onto the front page of the website, it says donate now. So you could just donate money, which is what we like to do, just straight. Or underneath that, it says you can text the chapel. You can do that. It's another way of just donating. And beneath that, it says bid on a musician. If you click on that, you can bid on, I see Scott is preparing at the moment, so you can bid on Scott. You're just sort of paying money to hear the musician or your appreciation of the musician. You can bid money still for Dan, for Mac, for Scott coming up. Anybody who can just bid money, can bid for me not to play, or for me to sing. And then if you want to bid for the pot, it says Michael Bonds. If you want to bid for the bit of painting over there, it says Amy Beidelman. And if you want to fund a need, and it'll say here, if you click the fund a need one, and it actually takes you straight to the different programs. So it's just underneath that, the donate button. You can see all the ways of doing that. We do encourage you to give as much as you can. And we're going to be talking now, oh, I recognize you, my wife, Heather. Heather, welcome. And welcome. Heather is responsible for the contemplative studies part of the chapel. And you've been rather thrown in the deep end, haven't you, over this past period of time, having to take services. How have you found that being just thrown in that way? How's that gone for you?
Well, the cool thing is that I just signed a contract for this new role at the chapel in February, and then COVID started. So
yes.
I was catapulted into this role. And I mean, personally, that has been such a gift for me, because my first thought was to do these morning meditations every weekday. So from 9 till 9:30 every weekday morning. And we have between 20 and 30 any given morning who come to that, out of maybe 70 to 80 who come every now and then. And it's just such a cool community. And for me, the whole contemplative work here at the chapel is all about, I mean, all these things that we hear you talk about in your talks every week. It's about, for me, it's providing opportunities to really make that real, and for us to start to embody it and live it. And it's opportunities for practice and study, really.
I mean, it's been an amazing thing. I know, because our bedroom has been turned into a studio, that you have, for the last how many weeks? 25 weeks? Monday to Friday, 9 till 9:30, every single day, had people on this meditation. And about 20 people every single day have been on the meditation, which is a huge amount to do that. If you did have the funds, what would you like to do in the future? What would your desire be?
I mean, I guess my heart really is to just provide as many opportunities as possible for practice and for study together in groups. So it would be just to set up different groups around maybe Lectio Divina, looking at the Gospel of Thomas, or like chanting workshops, inviting people to lead us in these sorts of things. Study groups, book groups, just anything where we're beginning to really live what we're talking about at the chapel.
And say a little bit about, what is Lectio Divina? What does that mean?
It's basically the prayerful reading and study of any sacred text.
Yeah.
So it's just slow and meditative reading of something. And in groups, it's really cool, because then you read it as a community and you get so much more out of it.
And the good thing is that you're bringing in other influences into the chapel, aren't you? You're in touch with Cynthia Bourgeot, with the Living School as well. How does that work, the connection between it all?
Well, so I really got to another level of commitment myself through doing the Living School with Richard Rohr and the Centre for Action and Contemplation. And then from there became more involved in Cynthia Bourgeot's, in that whole wisdom community and Northeast Wisdom. So I'm very plugged into them, and I participate in a lot of their things and want to have lots of ideas from them that I'd like to bring here too. So
I mean, that's great. I think this cross-fertilization across all the various areas is excellent. We've got, Kurt Johnson is doing this caravan at this weekend. He's invited us to participate in that. The whole thing related to the monastery as well, that's a big link. Rita Marsh and Davini Kent. Yeah. And I think these networks are so important in keeping us connected up.
Yeah, and I'd love to just spend more time developing those networks and really living into this sense of this connected web that we all are.
Well, I can see that Peggy is there with another check. Now, Peggy, this outfit... Peggy... Peggy... What can I say? Just stay where you are, Peggy. I mean, this outfit is beyond itself. Now, actually, this check is for $6,000. This is someone that sent in this check literally yesterday to help support the work that's going on here. Now, that added on to the 10,670, brings us up to 16,670. Now, we're not absolutely there at the next chakra. And the next chakra, I think, is the heart chakra.
Well, you can give too.
Yes, it's the heart chakra. And actually, that really, has communication going in both ways. So thank you so much. Thank you. I just want to thank those of you who generously, these are genuine things that come in for the gala. We so appreciate it. But if you haven't done that now, beforehand, your chance to do it is right now. Just click that donate button. Give whatever you like. Buy a piece of art from the actual workshops itself. And see how that's going to go. And that's absolutely brilliant. So what we're going to do now is we've got Scott McCracken here. And Scott's another one of our favorite. And do you know, that shirt he's wearing, I was outside with him. He's got a mask that matches the shirt. So that's pretty classy. Scott, he's getting it out. That's right. You're not asking to sing it. It's very classy. And what are you going to be singing for us, Scott?
This is an old gospel kind of tune called Even Me.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Lord, I hear of showers of blessings. Thou art scattering full and free. Showers the thirsty souls refreshing. Let some drops now fall on me. Even me, Lord, even me. Even me, Lord, even me. Let some drops now. Let some drops now. Let some drops now fall on me. Lord, I hear of showers of blessings. Thou art scattering full and free. Showers the thirsty souls refreshing. Let some drops now fall on me. Pass me not, Lord, gentle Savior. Sinful though my heart might be, I am longing favor, whilst thou'rt blessing, oh, bless me. Bread of heaven, bread of heaven, ever let me feed on thee. Vine of heaven, vine of heaven, let thy blood atone for me. Even me, Lord, even me. Let some drops now fall on me. Even me, Lord, even me. Let some drops now fall on me. Even me, Lord, even me.
Yeah! Well done, Scott! Fantastic!
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. That's one of the favourites in the chapel, I know.
I love it. I love it.
And thank you so much for
My
coming in.
pleasure
And
indeed.
thank you for that shirt as well,
Of course.
which we so appreciate. Good. Well, I'm joined by Heather McDonald now. And Heather, we've been doing this survey. You might have got a phone call. You might have just seen the email. We wanted, rather than just putting a load of emails out, we wanted to reach out to people directly. How many people did we get to in the end?
We had over 200 people,
Fantastic.
just shy of 250.
Yeah. And, one of the main questions really was, when do we want to do in-person services? I mean, I'm looking here, everyone's sitting socially distanced outside, downstairs here at the moment. Everyone's wearing masks except me. And there are people at the front aren't wearing masks. But, what was the general view about opening up?
Generally, people really wanted to come back. There was just about over 30% people who said they're ready to be back in the chapel right away. And then there was different levels of people wanting to come back, if there was a vaccine or if it was just eradicated. So there's just different levels, but we have a good 30% that want to come back.
And so what's the thinking then? I mean, obviously, we have to speak to the board first. And nothing's been decided above my pay grade. But, what do you think the thinking is about coming back?
Well, I think we're ready. We're ready to have people come back. We've got all of our COVID protocols in place, and we've got all the supplies ready to make it happen. And so we're hoping by early fall that we could come back.
End of September, that sort of time.
End of September.
So I hope we were able to do that. We don't know. The schools have just come back. If there's an uptick, we're really wanting to be as safe as we possibly can. I mean, one of the last churches to open, I know, but the numbers for our streaming has been holding up quite strongly,
Really
which has been good. We've really been pleased with that. Now, what about? I mean, I dread to ask this question, but what about our performance during did they say?
Well, the good news is 80% of the people think that we're doing an excellent job.
And how much do we have to pay them to get them to say that?
Well, I don't know. I'll go check the bidding in a minute.
Yes, you can pay now. So that's good. So people do feel that we're doing an excellent job generally. And look, I just want to thank everybody that decided to fill in the survey. It really made a difference to us to know that, because we just couldn't go off on our own and just open up whenever. And we've always been quite cautious. It's only now that we began to feel that possibly it might be the right time. Heather, thank you so much. I know you're working madly
Yes.
on the Zoom over there. Let's have a look at the art, because the art is the thing in question now. Amy, show the art. Now, okay, look, new instructions for the art. There's the picture. It's changed shape again. I can't believe, what is it? This is the third time that's changed shape, Michael. He says, yes, it's all possible, he says. So look, the thing is, the bid thing for the art doesn't seem to be working. So this is what we want you to do. If you're on Zoom, that's you guys, if you're on Zoom, you can bid for these pieces of art in the chat of Zoom. Or you can actually just email info@aspenchapel.org. Now, I'm sure you all know that email address and can remember it. info@aspenchapel.org. You can put your bid in there. I will update, if I get figures from Heather, as to what the bids are. So either info@aspenchapel.org or go to the chat and we'll see where it is and we'll see how that's going along and how that absolutely works. So we're looking now, Jessica, where are you? Yes, we're going to, yes, you're over here. We got there, proud father, Jessica, my daughter, Jessica Veazey here. Thank you. And Dan Sheridan. Spoonerism is always big in our family. So you've got Vesica Jeezy and Shan Derriden. Now, Jessica, what are you going to sing for us today?
I'll be singing You've Got a Friend by Carole King.
There we are. Fantastic. Thank you. Take it away.
When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there. You've got a friend. The sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow. Keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon you'll hear me knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running and running, yeah, yeah, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you, yes, and desert you, and take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, running and running, yeah, yeah, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there, yes, I will. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Ain't it good to know you've got a friend?
Yeah! Fantastic! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bit of an unplugged moment to begin with, but never mind, Dan, that's fine. And Jessica, that was absolutely beautiful. And look, click on that musicians thing and bid some money for Jessica. We'd really appreciate you doing that. And also, just to let you know, it's just coming in on the wires here. We got a $50 bid on Michael's pot already, and we got $100 on Tracy's artwork as well. So please keep that money coming in. We're going to keep that bidding happening over the next period of time. Absolutely fantastic. And Elaine Bonds, how nice to see you. As all of you probably know, Elaine is our Director of Outreach and Social Responsibility. And this has really been, a time of need for so many people. And suddenly being in that place of Director of Social Responsibility in a time when everybody does need something, what has been the main thing that you've been attending to during the pandemic?
Well, we have been busy, and the outreach team has been really looking at the needs of people in the community for food, shelter, and community. And so we partnered with Aspen Family Connections, with Mind Springs Health, Picken County Human Services, and the Housing Stability Group, just to identify needs in the community and put together a procedure as to how we could help them. And also early on, back in March, we put together a list of volunteers. So if people needed grocery shopping done or errands or needed to go to doctor's appointments, that we had people set up to do that.
Yeah, fantastic. And what's been the response for people?
Well, for me, it's been really heartwarming to see how many people are willing to step up and help. Within a really short period of time, we had over 60 volunteers, and that was great. So thank you to everybody who volunteered. But also the other thing that I've been most pleased about is people in the community and different organizations in the community have been reaching out to us. So I think they have the message that the Aspen Chapel is here to help out when we can.
That's true, isn't it? Actually, I had someone phone me up and they just literally said, what can I do?
That's great.
And I said, well, the situation at the moment, by the way, the situation that we're really dealing with at the moment, particularly in the outreach, is the fact that there is nowhere for the homeless people without homes to go at Christmas. And it's just not fair. You can't put them in a community, a chapel, at the Catholic Church or anywhere like that, because with all the COVID things, they're all classrooms and it's incredibly difficult. And this person rang me up and said, how can I help? And I said, well, look, this is what we need. We're looking for a building or a space where we could put people in for the Christmas period. And they're amazing. They said, well, I'm going to get on this. Right. I'm going to look at how's that been going forward?
Well, it's been going well. I think there are a lot of people out there who are trying to find different places. We're looking for either hotels or buildings or even property, because there are some little shelters that we can put on property for people. So if anybody knows of that, that would be fantastic. That's one of the things that we're looking to do.
So we're really looking, if we could find a place where people could go, empty property,
yes,
even an office, something like that.
Absolutely.
Because we didn't have any showers or anything. They can shower at the day center.
Correct.
And so they can do all that. They just need somewhere so they don't freeze to death outside.
Right, and that they can be spaced apart from
So they
each
can be
other.
spaced apart. That's important.
Yes.
Now, look, what's coming up for outreach in the fall? What's the next bit?
Well, the next thing that's happening is that we're going to start our Connect program for elementary grades, and that is a social and emotional learning support system for children, and it's based on the C Learning program, which is out of Emory University.
Yeah.
And our first session is going to be focused on compassion and kindness.
Yes.
And we're hoping to meet in person, but of course we'll see what the protocols are with the.
And how
with
will
the
you
county.
meet in person? What's the idea? How are you going to do that?
The idea right now is that we would have 20 students at a time here, and we would do most of our work outside if weather permits. And then otherwise, we would have 10 in the gallery and 10 up in the sanctuary.
Amazing.
So we'll try it. We'll see. We're hoping that that's
Well,
what we
you
can
have
do.
moved this so far. I mean, just in the short period of time, the year or two that you've been doing that, year and a half, is it 18 months you've been doing this now?
Probably.
And really, we are known around the place for doing stuff. And so, look, if you'd like to just support our outreach program to be able to continue doing this, bringing faith communities together, click on that just beneath the donate button on the front page. It says, areas of need. Click on that and then do make a donation. I see someone actually has done that. Let's have a look. So, and we got the new outfit. I think we need a twirl with this outfit. Your scrubs are on at the moment. But what is fantastic is that this is $10,000. And actually, this came in again this week, this money, particularly for this particular program, this particular thing we're talking about, the gala, and it was $10,000. So that actually added on to the $16,670 takes us to $27,000. So we are now, as I come round here, hello Barbara, I'm going to, I can block out the $20,000 here, if I could do it carefully, and we're now at the throat, over the heart chakra, and we're looking to move towards the next chakra after that. So please do continue to give that. Now, I'm going to do something which, a bit of a risk here. I'm going to go for seeing if we could talk to someone on the, put your hand up if you'd like to say something over there. Does anybody like to make a little contribution to the show from there? There we are, Carter. How lovely to have you. Are a trooper, Carter. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Now, where are you watching from, Carter?
So I'm at home in Sun Valley, Idaho, and I just didn't want to miss it. This is so fun, Nicholas. You're doing such a great job.
That's very kind of you. And what have you been noticing as this show's been going on? What are the interesting things that you've noticed?
Well, beyond Peggy's outfit changes, which are lovely, I'm really enjoying all the updates from everyone and hearing about the programs. I mean, I often, am seeing the Sunday service or hearing bits and pieces, but it's great to hear how all the different members of the team are adapting and making plans for the future. So that's really fun. And then I also wanted to share that we've gone kind of rogue in the Zoom chat.
Yeah.
And we have collectively $300 that we would like to bid to get Peggy to sing a song.
Peggy to sing a song like, what are you asking? Peggy, are you here, Peggy? Where are you? She's, someone quickly go and get Peggy. And you've been collecting money. Listen, just so that everybody knows who this is, Carter's been working with us for about a year and a half, 2 years, and on the development side. And she's not actually a member of staff, but she's actually been working on us, advising us what to do. And Peggy, you're there, are you, Peggy? Now, Matt, are we up for this? We're gonna change the order, and Peggy's gonna come. What do we want Peggy to sing? I mean, this is not planned.
No, it's not planned, but I did kind of just now get approval, I think, via Heather McDonald. So I think, Peggy, do you have a song in mind?
Do you want to, look at this outfit, that's fantastic. So what are you going to sing for us, Peggy?
Well, I hear the Jenkins might want to hear me sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So Peggy, would you
perfect.
like to go over to that microphone? And Peggy, take it away. Woo-hoo. Thank you, Carter. Is that the one? Is she at the right microphone? Yeah, that's fine. Go. You go for it. Yeah, okay.
Is it on?
Yes, on. We're on. Yeah, go.
All right. So, when all the world is an uphill struggle and the raindrops tumble
all around. Heaven opens a magic lane when all the birds darken up the skyway. There's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place beyond the sun, just a step beyond the rain. How much did she bid?
Sorry?
How much did she bid?
300.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly over the steeple of Aspen Chapel, why, oh, why can't I?
You are fantastic, Peggy. Thank you so much, and thank you, studio audience, for hijacking this game. We so appreciate you doing that. Listen, people were coming out to me and saying, Peggy's going to sing. I said, well, it's not even on the script here. So Carter had to come on and actually make it happen. Barbara, you're here. Thank you so much, Peggy. I so appreciate that. So Barbara, and as you probably know, Barbara is responsible. She runs 2 programs. She runs the Insights program, which has been going for how many years?
At least 10, maybe more.
And you've been running it for how long?
9.
9 years.
I don't know.
And you volunteer every week to come in to the chapel or to be on Zoom and create a meditative space for an hour where people can have a conversation, 10 minutes silent meditation, conversation, 10 minutes silent meditation.
Almost. You're very close. Perhaps you want to join us. What we usually start with a guided meditation, and then we have a reading.
Yeah.
Anything from religion to science
Yeah.
and beyond.
Yeah.
And then we have a discussion, and we close with a silent.
You close with this.
Yes.
I like the way you say that. You close with the silence.
So that the wisdom can integrate.
So the wisdom can integrate. That's very good. That's very good, Bob. Thank you. And also, one of the most innovative programs that we've got at the chapel is the Aspen Noise program, which won an award for the most inclusive. What's the actual award? I don't want to make it up. What was the actual award that you won?
It was from the Colorado Developing Disabilities Council for inclusion.
Yeah, and that's an incredible thing. And that was, for the chapel, for Aspen Noise, and you've been running that through the pandemic as well. Now, how are these programs? And by the way, Aspen Noise, those of you who haven't seen it in the chapel, it's the strap line is ordinary people making an extraordinary noise, and it's all levels of disability, all levels of ability to sing, all ages. Nothing is excluded, is it?
True.
Right. So tell us about how it's been going during the pandemic. First of all, Insights. How's that been going?
Insights has been going very well. I think we are adjusting to doing everything on Zoom. We have maybe 15 people, and it's actually fun because we have people from, we had one lady from Canada, people from across the country that would not ordinarily be able to attend. And that's every single week. And for me, that's so meaningful. I learn so much, and I gain so much from that experience every week. I really appreciate it.
And what about, how have you been doing Aspen Noise with singing together? It must be a bit difficult.
Well, we're creative. So we, sometimes we'll take turns singing, or sometimes all of us will sing and basically just hear ourselves, which seems to suit the group okay.
Yeah. Oh, so they sing and they can just hear themselves because there's no technology that allows you to hear all together.
But we're working on it. Then we take turns, and we've had a lovely time. And we have not had a lot of people, but the people that do come, I think it's very, very meaningful, and it's very joyful, quite quite innocent.
And if the funds were available, what sort of things would you like to be doing next in Aspen Noise?
Well, I'm really thankful that we can just meet every week because it's really holding on to that sense of community. And I'm thankful to the chapel for giving us the Zoom website. And what we really want to do is we want to make a video.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. And we're going to have everybody singing. It's going to be awesome. And then we'll have it as the music on a Sunday service.
Absolutely, yeah. If we can get the technology together to make a video, to use that.
I have a guy, I just need the...
Yes. So look, do click on that if you've got the need bit, and do donate to Aspen Noise. And I think there is, yes, Peggy, what are you saying?
Some people are wanting Vivi to sing.
Yes, well, let's have that with next check now. This is going to be taken over to it. The next check now. What have we got here? So we've got $12,000. Now that $12,000 that we've got here, that $12,000, I'll tell you where that comes from. That is the money from the Pay It Forward campaign. Thank you. That is the money from the Pay It Forward campaign. So actually, that represents not only $12,000 going into Aspen Chapel, but also an extra $12,000, which are the gift cards, which has now gone to all the different shops and restaurants and things like that. So that takes us up to 38,000. Oh, we're beyond the next one. So now, what is this next chakra? That here we are. We've moved back beyond the throat chakra here. So we're $38,000. We're coming up to these last chakras. So that's absolutely fantastic. $38,000 takes us up, and we're going to move up to the third eye chakra. We need to get to the third eye chakra, and the third eye chakra is about communication with the divine. So we do want communication with the divine, don't we, Greg?
Is it my turn now?
Not quite yet, Greg. It will be. Now, if you could just take a seat, Greg, I'm sure we'll come to you just a bit later on. Now, where are we? Yes. The next singing. Do I have to sing now? Yes, I do. You bid for me to sing, so I'm going to sing. I've got my lovely assistant here, and I thought that as you were bidding, I had to actually sing. Now, what I thought was really important was on this evening to actually sing a song that's romantic, something really to get the hearts. And this is called I Hold Your Hand in Mine. I hold your hand in mine, dear. I press it to my lips. I take a healthy bite from your dainty fingertips. My joy would be complete, dear, if you were only here. But still I have your hand as a precious souvenir. The night you died, I cut it off. I really don't know why. 'Cause now each time I kiss it, I get blood stains on my tie. I'm sorry that I killed you, for our love was something fine. Until they come to get me, I will hold your hand in mine. Thank you very much. And what you're clicking on me is I want to be raising some money for that. So absolutely make sure that that's happened. Michelle, Welcome, Michelle. How lovely to have you with us. So,
Thank you.
Michelle has been looking after youth. And Michelle, again, it's a difficult time for families. And just how have you been supporting them?
Well, the first thing was really, I was really grateful to be a mother in this because I could really identify with what families were going through.
Yeah.
I was in the trenches, and so from there, I formed a pandemic parents support group where people could really share what they were going through personally and what was going on with their kids, and we could all relate. And frankly, that experience turned a job into a community, and I feel now so indebted and accountable to these. They are not just families, they're my people, and I've grown to really care for them because they've shared so much.
And I've noticed the letters you put on Facebook and on our website, really addressing it. What I was really touched by was, you sharing your heart, what it was like for you. I mean, poor you, having to make guinea pig videos as well. You made guinea pig videos. You really just pulled all the stops out. You wrote, you made guinea pig videos. You met people down by the river and things like that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, I was offering some pandemic parents on Zoom, and then I was meeting with children on Zoom twice a week. But then by the time May rolled around, everyone was Zoomed out. So I thought, okay, I've got to switch gears. And we noticed that our guinea pigs were needing to go through a spiritual journey because this was really hard on them. This was hard on all of us. They heard a lot of yelling in our house, so we took it to task. They created a talk show, and they talked about their spiritual journey, and they interviewed some of their friends. And so that was a lot of fun. And then we started seeing people in person down by rivers, and that gave the parents an opportunity to, again, form community. And it taught me that our youth program really needs to start from a community of parents who love to be with each other because they play off each other's intellect and spirituality. And that's the part that I want to build on in this opportunity.
And how are you looking at building on it next? What's the next stage of that?
Well, if things went my way, there would be a few things I'd like to do. One would be to create a book or study group with parents to go deeper, to see a greater perspective into what we're going through as a collective. And I would also like to plan experiences that are spontaneous and congruent with seasons where families can gather all together and those children can form relationships organically.
Yeah.
And then my true love, I was always a teacher, and I really want to work with teens, helping them develop the skills and the tools to navigate through this, because they may not look like it on the outside, but this has been traumatizing for teens, to not be able to be with their classes. I talked to Jessica today, and she gets to see her friends, but she misses the part where you are in a class and you have to form tolerance for others.
Yeah.
It's easy to be around your friends. But so I want to create opportunities for youth to come together and navigate difficult conversations and figure out what it's going to take to get through this unpredictable time.
You really have invented something. I love this idea that you're going to build from community and build upwards from community. You're going to be part of the Connect program, aren't you, as well,
Yes.
on the Tuesdays?
Yes.
And going forward, if you had the resources, you've got the video, you've got bringing people together, how would you see, next year the youth program? You'd probably like to do your El Paso trips and things like that, which you missed this year because you weren't able to do that. You had it all organized, didn't you? And
Yes.
and it didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah,
There
and
were a
you-
lot of things that didn't happen. So
Yeah.
really, and again, the underlying skill here is to work with what is and not be so disappointed in what was lost, but build from that.
Because it's interesting, with children and young people, you only graduate once.
Right.
I mean, our years just go on, and we do this, we do that. But with kids, you only graduate from 8th grade once. You only graduate from high school once. And if you miss that, you've missed an enormous thing. And we do have to be aware of the effect that's having. And I'm so grateful for the work you do. Please, do go on that website. And if you're able to make a contribution to that website, we'd really appreciate that. I think we've got another check coming in. Let me just see. There we are. Now, I love the outfit, by the way. Your outfit, you've stolen the show. You do realise that, Peggy. Yeah? And I guess she's come from Theatre Aspen. It's not surprising that she has done that. $7,200 is the amount that we've raised so far tonight at the chapel. That's the amount that we've raised so far. And that is absolutely fantastic. So we're so pleased about that. So that has now taken us beyond our next chakra. So we are 37, so what is it, 7,000? Yeah. 6, 9, 41, 2, 3, 4. We're on $45,000, which is pretty amazing to do that. Thank you so much for that. Now, listen, I'm going to ask Heather, she can take your mask off and shout at me. What is the bid at the moment for the painting? Can I hear what the bid at the moment is for the painting?
We have 250, oh, wait, 100 for Amy's painting, and they want a close-up of it.
They want 100 for Amy's painting, so let's get a close-up of Amy's painting. How's that?
That's the highest bid so far from Carolyn Blake.
If you give it to me now, let me just take it up to that camera over there. So this is what the painting looks like. I'm going to take it up to here. Is that good? There we are. That is a close-up of the painting, which is pretty good, I think. So we're at the moment where the top bid is how much? $100.
100.
So you can carry on bidding for that. And we don't know what shape. This looks like the shape is taking shape here for the bowl. It'll be a beautiful fruit bowl, I think. It looks like it'll be. So what's the bid on that?
Mark Mays, I believe, would like the pot that's standing there for $250.
Oh, he's bid $250 for that pot. Mark, thank you so much indeed. We so appreciate. That's absolutely fantastic. $250 for that. So you can keep bidding on that. If you want to go above that, what are we on for the pot that Michael's making? I think it's, you can come back to me afterwards.
Oh, I know,
$50 for the pot at the moment he's making.
Oh,
so that,
wait. Oh, it was 100.
100.
For
So,
Amy's painting. Sorry.
100 for Amy's, so 50 there. Okay, so I'm going to come to another attempt at Zoom. I'm going to go to Carolyn Glay now. Carolyn, there we are. I've pinned
Can you
to
hear
the
me
video.
there?
Yes, fantastic.
Great.
And I'd just like to say, as a board member of long-term standing, how do you feel about people's generosity tonight?
Well, we are thrilled and we are thankful for everyone's generosity and willing to support the chapel. These big checks are kind of blowing my mind. It's fabulous. And I just want to thank everyone for participating in the fun and the fundraising and being part of the chapel community tonight.
And it is difficult asking for money, but it's so important to keep things going here. What are your hopes for the future?
I've got big hopes, and I think my number one hope is that we will be gathering and breaking bread together in the not so distant future as a chapel community. And it's so important, the work, Nicholas, that you and the staff have done to keep us together as a community, and we are grateful and we are ever thankful.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. That's absolutely fantastic. I'd just like to point out that we're now at over $45,000, which is an amazing amount to have raised. You've not quite got the $50,000. You could still send money in. Obviously, it'll still get counted, but that is $45,000 that's come out of our gala, a bit more than $45,000. I'd just like to do some thank yous. I'd like to, first of all, thank Matt, who is up there in that booth, and he's naked. He's got all his sweats come out. He's pulled all his hair out. He has been fantastic in getting this together. I really want to say how much appreciate it. I'd like to say Heather McDonald, who also has been pulling her hair out, getting the Zoom together, making sure that works. I'd like to thank our studio manager here, Linda, Bobby Taliska, and Barbara Owen, who've been running things. Really like to thank as well Peggy, who's really been, unfortunately, the star of the show. And I'd like to thank our studio audience who've actually been willing to come together and done that as well.
How about now?
Well, I'm terribly sorry, Greg, but we've run out of time now. That's all we've got time for. So say goodbye, Greg.
Goodbye, Greg.
Goodbye, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us.